Hey everyone, Jeremiah True here. I'm the brand manager for P. Mauriat North America, and we're here today with P. Mauriat artist Adam Larson. And Adam is one of our busiest, most prolific, active P. Mauriat artists. And so what I wanted to ask Adam today was, so in the midst of all of the travel, the booking of travel, the flights, funding, all of the things that go into being a freelance musician today, when all of that is said and done, and it comes time to actually practice, to actually get ready, to maintain your skills, to improve your skills, because I've heard you several times, and every time it seems to get better. And so in the midst of all of the professional and the personal stuff that goes on with being a musician, when you finally have time to get your instrument, or make time to get your instrument out of the case, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's a very valid question, and it changes, different stages of life. Where I am now, in my mid-30s, time is at a very high premium. So what I'm practicing now is significantly less than it was in even a decade prior, and certainly less than when I was a teenager. But one thing that I've tried to hold myself accountable to, and I was, again, much more consistent when I was younger, but I still try to do it now, and I would encourage anybody watching this to think about it, is to write out your practice routine ahead of time. If you ever go into the practice room and with the best intentions and started to practice, and you came out after an hour and said, wow, what did I just practice? That's good and bad news. It's good because it informs how you correct that. It's bad because maybe you didn't get as much done as you would have wanted to. So writing out what you want to accomplish and being specific about, okay, I want to do it for this amount of time, will really help kind of organize your thought process. And to that, I try to think of 4 kind of macro topics: tone, technique, vocabulary, and tunes. If your sound is together, your technique sounds better. If your technique is together, your vocabulary will come quicker. And if you have vocabulary, you can put it through a tune. So having those kind of regimented big topics, everybody is so specific that you can kind of go in there microscopically say, I want to do this for tone and this for technique, so on and so forth. But I'm a big, fan of writing stuff out the night before you go when you go to bed. So then you wake up the next morning, you are setting some accountability for yourself that's very specific. I'm going to do these things in this amount of time, and hopefully you have an idea of what's coming up in the next 12 hours. So you can say, I'm going to do it at this portion of the day.
Let's say you've been driving 8 hours to get to the gig, or you've been flying all night to get to the gig. You show up to the venue, it's in a half an hour. You pull your horn out of the case. What do you do in 5-10 minutes to kind of get your thoughts straight, to get your head in the game with what you're doing?
It's a great question. It's something, again, that kind of has changed quite dramatically for me from when I was a student, and always a student of music still, but let's be real, I'm 34, so I'm not a high school student or a college student anymore. But when I was that age, I would obsess about which reed to play and make sure the ligature was on the right way and go through some scales and worry about what the music was going to be. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't give those things consideration, just saying maybe if you find yourself in those similar situations, to zoom out and focus on what's important. And I think a lot of that is physical. How do you approach the situation? Keep in mind, I found historically, if I have stress in my body or anxiety there, it doesn't matter how good of a musician I may be in that moment, I'm always going to be hindered by physical things that we don't think about. So trying to get my body right, breathing right, feeling relaxed, whatever that might mean to you specifically, I would encourage you to try to find that spot where you're able to be present, because music, more than anything else, that's one place where if you don't take advantage or lead into the idea of being in the present, then you can't really fully take advantage of all the creative opportunities that you have. So I would say for me, it's a mixture of breathing, making sure that the reed I have is decent enough, and we'll be on our way.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Until next time.
Okay, sounds good.